Good evening, soccer fans and friends of the feather. This is Minneapolis City Soccer Super Cup, Minnesota Super Cup soccer action, starting off the 2023 campaign. I am John Bisworm. I am normally joined by my partner in crime, Mr. Eric Nordquist. His twins went up and had a birthday today, so he's not here. But the next best thing that we have with us today is Mr. Adam Pribble, former head coach and general manager of Minneapolis City. Welcome, Adam.
Thank you. Thanks, John. Wonderful evening for soccer.
Yeah, great evening. So as a reminder, folks, the season kicks off with the Minnesota Super Cup. And who is our opponent today? Minneapolis City is taking on Minnesota United's U19 MLS Next program. Not Minnesota United.
Not Minnesota United. Not to be confused with.
Not Minnesota United 2. Minnesota United. But tonight, Adam and folks at home, embarks a new era at Minneapolis City. You were one of the rungs on the ladder from a coaching perspective. But today starts the top rung until there's another one after that, and that is the Carl Craig era. Mm-hmm. Carl Craig joining us from his most previous stint as the head coach with USL One Side Forward Madison. Super happy to have him. He, as we know in this booth, he's been around the club on the fringes for some time, but it just made sense. Maybe talk a little bit about Carl and kind of that process from your point of view.
I mean, would we ever have thought at Minneapolis City that we would have a former Forward Madison coach here?
A professional head coach.
A professional head coach, right? And when you say, like, I was a rung on the ladder, it was a very low rung. So, like, super exciting to have Carl Craig here. Obviously, he's got a great history in Minnesota soccer and professional Minnesota soccer, winning it with Minnesota United. So it's great to see him on the pitch here.
All right, so as far as the Minnesota Super Cup goes, we're just going to cover it real quick. It's basically an in-season competition, and it's two groups: Duluth, Minnesota United FC, who are playing tonight, and Minneapolis City. Group B, Med City, St. Croix, Valor FC from the UPSL. So how this works, folks, very Champions League style. The in-season competition will be going on throughout the year, and it all culminates with a July 29th matchup at McAllister with the winner of Group A and Group B. Did I say that properly, Adam?
Absolutely.
Okay, perfect. I kind of stole your thunder there in our notes.
No, you ran it off great.
Well, why don't we go into the player to watch tonight, sponsored by Twin City Orthopedics. Thanks again, Twin City Orthopedics, for coming back for another year with us. The player to watch tonight is Eli Goldman. If that name rings a bell for City fans, it should. Eli's been with the club now in his record 5th year. I don't think we've had a player. Maybe he's tying the record.
5 years.
Fantastic. 5 years. Within those 5 years, he had 20 appearances with the club, 8 goals, 1 assist. And I speak for myself, and hopefully many of you out there who know Eli, those 8 goals were all memorable. They always had an impact, and he is just a joy to watch. Highly recruited from a non-professional level for the summer across the country, but chose to come back where the heart beats, and that's Minneapolis. You coached Eli, Adam. Tell me a little bit more about why he's so special and why the folks at home should really be focusing in on him today.
I mean, it's two things really for Eli. One is that he's a hard worker, and that's always valued at any level. But number two is his unpredictability. And like you said, he comes with the big moments at big times. So that's the big thing for Eli. Super fun out to watch. Keep an eye on him for tonight. And now we're going to move on to our Keys to Victory, sponsored by Pence Homes. Keys to Victory for tonight, we're looking at players on the same page. These guys haven't trained a lot. Minnesota United will be a little bit more organized, so look for them to take control early. But we'll see what Minneapolis City does with all guys that are coming from all different walks of life and trying to make the city gear. Number 2 is control in the middle of the field. So that's the big thing, is how can we control the middle of the pitch? We'll look to see who can take control of that early on. And 3 is in-game coaching adjustments. It'll be interesting to see their coaching staff versus our staff. Can we see Carl Craig and his staff make some in-game adjustments to take control of the game? That is the Pence Homes Keys to the Game.
So now, as you can probably hear in the background echo here, we're getting into the starting lineups. I'm terrible with names. That's what Eric Nordquist does so well. So I'm putting you on the spot, Adam. Who's the starting lineup for Minnesota United FC?
Starting lineup for Minnesota United FC, we're starting from the back with number 35, Oscar Herrera. Miguel Leon, number 17. Cooper Lejewski is number 9. Dominic Vargas, number 76. Tamir Ipsais, number 15. Adarius Omar, 23. Thomas Neeser, 29. Cage Romishin, number 8. Leo Kana, number 10. Merrick Schaefer, 70. Perry Blay, number 27.
And for your home Minneapolis City Soccer Club, in net, number 13, Ayub Ahmed. Across the back line, number 2, Alvaro Arce. Nick Hutton, number 14. Jonah Garcia, number 4. And rounding out the back 4 is Wes Lawrence, number 5. In that midfield that Adam talked about controlling tonight is number 12, Aiden O'Driscoll. Number 6, Samuel Ruiz Plaza. Number 10, player to watch, Eli Goldman. Across the front line is Faden Uruakondo, number 28, Camel 2, number 11, and Carlos Pina, number 17. One thing that I didn't note, Adam, is super happy for this guy, Jonah Garcia wearing the captain armband today.
Yeah, isn't it great to see him out here again leading the Crows from the back line?
I mean, we talk about on the weekly podcast, the People's Pitch podcast, the official podcast of your Minneapolis City Soccer Club,
right.
hosted by myself and the voice of Minneapolis City Game Day, the Nate Morales. We talk about a lot that we are now at the point in 7 years into this crazy experiment where the soil's being turned over. The OGs, if you will, the legends of the club those names are starting to kind of fall out of the roster makeup for many reasons, right? People get older, injuries catch up, or just life life punches in and soccer punches out.
Don't we know it?
So now we're looking at a very young roster. I mean, if you're looking at the roster today, Jonah Garcia being the captain on tonight, Aiden O'Driscoll, who was our captain last year, Samuel Ruiz Plaza is the only holdover from the original 2016 team, and then you have Nick Hutton. So it's a very new roster.
It really is. But the really cool thing is to see, like, every successful team has a great infusion of new talent, and they balance that with those veterans. And that's what's really cool to see, is that you've got some of those veterans carrying the water for Minneapolis City.
Yeah, beautiful night, minus the dark clouds that are rolling in here. And there's no pun intended playing against a Minnesota United affiliate here, but the clouds are rolling in. So fingers crossed that weather holds off. But a packed crowd here tonight. The citizens are in full effect. I think I count them like 3 new drums over here. What do we got over here?
My goodness, we've got a full ensemble over here.
Well, maybe I'll open the window so we can get some background noise. But right while we wait for kickoff here, we'll take a quick break, and we'll come back to you with game action. Once again, I'm John Bisworm. This is Adam Pribble. Edor Nelson Field in the home of Augsburg University. Minnesota Super Cup soccer action. Welcome back, friends. Minneapolis City Soccer 2023 version. I'm John Bisworm. Next to me is the Adam Pribble on the campus of Augsburg University, Edor Nelson Field, for the first matchup in the inaugural Minnesota Super Cup. Both teams are starting to take shape here, take the fold. The referee's handing off the ball. Adam's feverishly trying to put the players back into the jigsaw puzzle that we have in front of us. And we're ready to get some soccer here. I'm excited, Adam. I don't know if it comes through my voice, but it's been a while since we were here.
Oh, it certainly comes through in your voice, John. And it is just nice to be back at Augsburg, albeit I've never been up in the booth here. I've always been down on the field, but it is a great feeling to be up here with you.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So as far as how the Crows are setting up here, we kind of just anticipated a 4-3-3 from Coach Craig and staff, but it's looking almost as if it'll probably filter into like a 4-1-4-1. But we'll find out here as the game is underway. Minnesota United choosing to start off with the long ball.
Everyone does that these days. I still don't understand it myself as a former coach, but here we are.
Well, as a former player and coach myself, I'm not a big fan of giving the ball that you were just handed away to the other team.
Just doesn't make sense, but that's why we're up here.
So as far as how the first 5-10 minutes of this is going to really play out, I do believe that it's we just saw a long ball there from number 70, Merrick Schaefer for Minnesota United. I do feel it's going to be a lot of side-to-side backwards, maybe, unless we're seeing that Minnesota United wants to try to get on the front foot and try to maybe catch a back line for Minneapolis City, who has not really played together that much.
Yeah, I mean, there's going to be some jockeying here for position. It looks like Minnesota United is going to take a high line and try to press things a little bit. It'll be fun to watch because there's going to have to be some jockeying early on to try to take control of the field.
Our first action in the offensive third here with Alvaro Arce fighting with number 8. Where he's in? Is he in your hand? Who's number 8?
Cage
Romanchi for Minnesota United. Minneapolis City, Minnesota United is going to trip me up the whole night here.
It really is. We're going to be tripping over words there, but we'll get through it.
Maybe we just go Crows and Loons. Let's keep it simple. Keep it in the bird family.
Bird on bird.
Yeah, bird on bird action.
All right.
So here's what I was talking about, kind of that side-to-side action. We don't have a number 33 on our roster, but we're used to that up here.
We are. We're going to make do.
Another long ball attempt.
Well, they got some pace.
And well played out by Wes Lawrence. And the thing to note, as you can see on the, maybe if the screen pans over here, a quick corner taken. I'll get to that in a second. Good clearance by Aiden O'Driscoll. And Carson Pena with the ball up to Camel 2. Maybe a little more pace on that. But Oscar Herrera, the goalkeeper for the Loons on the day today, a former Crow and current Augsburg Augie. So he's well familiar with this. And his high line was, he was up to almost the 35, 40-yard line there. So that's an indicator that the Loons are looking to press high today.
I would expect them as the more organized side to try to start out on the front foot. Minneapolis City is going to have to kind of ease our way into this being our first organized game.
I would agree with you. What better way to get on that front foot than to really put the pressure on the home squad? If you're on the road, there's two ways to slice it, right, Adam? There's sit back or you punch first.
And what's great is, John, we've had some conversations with the coaching staff and Matt Van Scoten, the GM, and it sounds like, we've got a lot of players on the team here. We've also got some guys that are still vying to make that USL2 roster, being this is a Minnesota Super Cup game. So you're going to see some guys taking some chances and doing some things maybe that's outside their purview, just trying to make the squad.
Yeah, why not? Take your chances. And the coaching staff's not going to, unless it's a crucial / vital mistake, they're not going to knock you for trying something. It just depends on where you try it on the field.
That's right. Absolutely.
Wes Lawrence here battling a slew of Loons. Oh, advantage ref.
Wes Lawrence is always going to be the first one to hit the fence on the outside.
Yeah, absolutely.
That flow from last year is gone, though.
Yeah, he's got a high and tight this year.
Nice mustache to go along, though.
Something new to the match here as well is as Garcia looks for a long ball. Luckily finding Pena is Nick Hutton moving from his customary striker position to a central back role.
I think he's played every position now for the club, which just is a testament to the Nick Hutton and the Hutton brothers, as they can kind of do it all.
Yeah, Uru Kondu.
A great little bit about Alvaro Arce here with number 2, who is right back. He's also played with the Futures on that UPSL squad.
Captain the side last week.
As well as he's a coach with the Futures coach Eli Baker for state-winning De La Salle boys soccer.
Oh, you always got to put a plug in for the Islanders.
Got to mention that.
Seen some nice interplay with him and Uru Kondo so far on that right side.
They seem to have played a couple training matches together.
Ball in by Uru Kondo, not finding Eli Baker, but he gives the thumbs up. That was the right idea there. Nice touch by Samuel.
I mean, that will be somewhat of the story of the match as Aiden O'Driscoll trips up a Minnesota United player. Is how is Minnesota United going to handle the physicality of Minneapolis City being a little bit older, a little bit more seasoned, and what is Minnesota United going to do to counteract that? That'll be the interesting part here in the first 10 minutes.
Another long ball. Ahmed just sees that one out.
Ayub is a nice story. It's kind of like we swapped keepers. Ayub actually played with Minnesota United's academy in previous years, I think even as early as last year. So,
and he's going to Augsburg next year.
I guess we called him up and swapped him.
Yeah. Oh, boy.
That's not the turnover you want early.
Nope, it is not. But I think
looks like they can contain it.
Defensively, the Crows did a very good job of covering that mistake by Pena.
Both teams are defending a little bit deep in a 4-4-2 here to start the game. But we can just look back and see Oscar Herrera wants to be part of build-up. He is high up on the 35-yard line. That's American football that we're talking there.
I mean, that's aggressive, and you got to be a little careful because it only takes one
turnover,
one
right?
turnover on the what you would think is a smooth turf surface, but it runs fast here at Augsburg from what the players tell me. One overcooked pass, one undercooked pass, and that's you think
Eli Goldman hasn't seen that?
Yeah. Jonah Garcia eating that long ball up. There's a clear message by the Loons coaching staff here to Herrera and the rest of the team to press that high line. Good win.
There it is. Can you look up? Lots of space behind. Oscar retreats pretty quickly.
Yeah, Eli did take a look.
I mean, you talk about chances in the final third, and I'm going to bet on Eli Goldman taking that guy one-on-one, 9 times out of 10. So let's keep looking for those chances from City today.
Mm-hmm. Number 9, Lajewski. Good turn by O'Driscoll. Once again, that was another advantage call. You would like maybe to see the ref allow. But the whistle was blown.
Yep.
We'll take it.
Yeah, we'll take it. It's good to see City trying to build a little bit out of the back. It's just a little bit of confidence here. Again, early parts of the game.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm seeing from United is, they're getting some space in behind, but do they have the speed? And right now I just haven't seen, like their number 9, Cooper. Does he have the speed to get in behind and really take advantage of it? We'll see.
Wes Lawrence tracking this one down. Yeah, Lajewski looks good on the ball for the Loons, but doesn't necessarily have the makeup, from the eye test that it's going to be a track race with someone who literally was a NCAA national champion sprinter in Nick Hutton.
Maybe United didn't do their scouting report, but it's going to be tough to get in behind Hutton.
Uru Kondo in a foot race. Idris Omar for United. talked about the high line, Adam, by Minnesota United, but clearly when the Crows win the ball, like there with Campbell 2, when the Crows win the ball, it's very much so Eli Goldman pairing up with 2 up top, and so moving out of that kind of single forward from a defensive shell perspective to having a partner up top on the offensive side.
Gone are the days where we're playing in a similar formation defensively and attacking wise, so you kind of have to watch both phases of the game to see how teams are setting up as tactics continue to evolve over time.
You been working on your goal call, Adam?
Absolutely not. That's for the professionals.
Were you in front of the mirror today?
I could never replace Nordo in that effect. So.
And I just try not to step over Nordo with my exuberance whenever a goal is scored.
An impossible task, John Bisworm. Sometimes you just get excited and let it all out.
Yeah, sorry, not sorry.
It's the beauty of soccer.
This is a second corner kick for United, and Thomas Kinzer, number 29, looks like he's heading over to take it. And how cute is that little ball boy right next to the corner flag?
I mean,
right
absolutely
now?
Adorable.
My exuberance.
I'm good, sir. You may have to move. He might be taunting that Minnesota United player. Who knows?
We just called him cute, but he's a savage over there with his banter.
As Minnesota United gets here to hit the first corner of the evening, I got to say, this is a packed house in here, John.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
appreciate you guys for all tuning in to the live stream, but my goodness, if you haven't gotten a ticket, next home game is Saturday, May 13th. Get on down here because these things are going like hotcakes. It is a packed house.
It's like Hutton pulling up with an injury.
Holden looks like he's holding his left hamstring, raising his hands. And Tyler Beaupre is warming up for the Minneapolis City Crows.
Not what you want if you're Nick Hutton this early on, and not what you want for Coach Craig and staff.
I mean, this is the fine-edged sword that you kind of play with. Nick Hutton is a phenomenal player, but at times he's prone to injury.
This will be a perfect time to thank some sponsors, Adam. Twin City Orthopedic. Minneapolis City is in good hands with our longtime sports medicine partner, Twin Cities Orthopedics. You can have your TCO. You can have TCO on your side with their wide range of specialty services to help you achieve your goal of returning to full health. Learn more at tcomn.com. We're just going to roll right through it here today while we have the break here. Pence Homes. Thank you so much, Pence Homes. When it's time to make your move, you're in good hands with the property experts at Pence Homes, a top choice for buyers and sellers across the metro. Pence Homes is a division of Keller Williams Classic Realty Northwest. I'll do one more, and then I'll let you roll. Wow. Mpls. Thank you, Mpls. Good living comes from 2 things, good soccer and good brewing. Between Minneapolis City and Mpls, you'll be living good every day this summer. Visit their tap room, and their beautiful tap room. Man, it's awesome over there, in the Bryn Mawr neighborhood, or grab a sixer at a liquor store literally everywhere. Learn more at utepils.com.
They did a fantastic job there. Let me see if I can top you, though, with Southside Barber Lounge. Guys, look your best with the only barber you should trust in Minneapolis. Southside Barber Lounge, located on 38th and Bloomington. It is the spot for elevated men's grooming without the nonsense. Make an appointment now at southsidebarberlounge.com.
All right, game action underway here, and that was Beaupre and Hutton making the change there.
Tyler Beaupre is the blondie wearing number 8. He is not Nick Hutton and not Jonah Garcia, so you'll know which one he is now.
Yeah, but Tyler is, again, one of those players that was elevated from the future setup.
Absolutely. And he's a gamer. We got to see a lot of him last year with the Futures, and he's done quite well.
And he has that continuity with maybe Arce in the back line, but obviously not Garcia.
Not connected that way.
Yeah.
You like to see those little lines drawn like in FIFA. Or,
Good tackle by Ruiz Plaza.
Oof.
Oh. A little soft, but I could see why the referee called that one.
Camel is another player coming up from the Minneapolis City Futures program, just proving that there's players all over the Twin Cities that deserve a chance to get a look, and Camel has done quite well for himself, earning some high praise from Carl Craig.
Yeah, and he torched me as a mentor coach in the 7-a-side Winter League.
Oh, you put on the boots.
No. He torched my team I coached.
Oh, well.
No. Futures League. I'm in the past league, not the Futures.
So you
League.
put on the whistle.
Yeah. I carried the water. 14, almost 15 minutes into this Minnesota Super Cup first game action. This Pena with a turnover.
And a chance for Minnesota United they put over the net. As so much of these games are early on, it's about who's going to make less mistakes early on, right? And so those turnovers that are going to happen in your defensive third of the game, if we can minimize those, we may be in a good spot.
Well, I'm not all about calling people out here, Adam, but got to say it like it is. That's now the second turnover in a bad spot by Carson Pena, number 17 from Minneapolis City. So obviously, first game jitters, but if that starts to accumulate to, maybe 3, 4, 5, which we hope it doesn't, but if it does, then there's the opportunity where Coach Craig has a decision to make.
Start looking at some decisions. That's right, and that's what today's all about. You're going to maybe see a little bit more subs. And like we said, Carlos, he may be fighting for a spot on the team. So is he playing a little bit outside of himself? Who knows? But that's the fun part of today's game.
Ruiz Plaza's been everywhere. Goldman choosing there for the pass. Maybe looking at something direct on target would have been the better decision there. Oh, good turn by O'Driscoll. Whew. Referee, another opportunity where, oh man.
I mean, I think most City fans and players are going to be asking for advantage there. So the ref is calling a little bit tight, a little bit early. And remember, it's early in the season for the refs as well. So
yes,
Jonah's asking the right questions, the referee, it appears like, and hopefully that will...
Well, and if we're looking at a replay on the action, the play materialized with Pena in on goal getting taken down from behind, so potentially a penalty opportunity. So that small decision by a referee to make the call, which is warranted, that was a foul. But to
you got to let it play out, though, especially in the attacking third.
Yep, absolutely. So, there's the pass. There's the pass. Preseason pass.
There it is.
O'Driscoll's going to go on target here.
Lofts it in for Pena, and just a little bit much too air on it.
As we talk about that referee's decision, Adam, do you feel like the next one, advantage, is definitely coming?
I mean, you'd think it has to now with 2 there, where I think the ref would have liked it back. And again, these refs, they're walking around with the whistle in their mouth. They're going to blow it a little bit too early. I think he'll learn his lesson here. We'll see.
Another long ball here. That goes to number 10, Leo Kona. But Arce equal to the task.
Well done.
Good defending.
And Leo seems to have some speed up that left side. When they're playing balls over, it's been successful coming off the left side.
Mm-hmm. And you said Minnesota United going quick here. Good interchange.
Miguel Leon tees it up, gets blocked. Ruiz Plaza is all over the field.
Yeah, he's been everywhere. Maybe you heard that 2016 comment and took the super juice today.
One of the OGs. He's here. He's worked out all summer. He's ready.
I mean, the guy is an athletic specimen. When it's hot out here, he takes his shirt off and makes sure my wife doesn't go around that. It's like Uru Kondo getting tripped up there. We're going back to the keys of the game today. Controlling the midfield. How do you think both sides have done so far?
It's been an interesting battle thus far. It feels like Minnesota United maybe has had a few more touches in the middle of the field. I wouldn't say they've won the battle yet because they're getting pushed around a little bit by some of our senior midfielders. It'll be a fun game to watch that way. They're technical, they're tight, but they're going to get bullied.
Yeah, absolutely. And I've seen a lot of side-to-side backwards from their midfield versus our midfield picking the head up and trying to drive forward.
Yeah, I haven't seen a lot of penetrating passes from Minnesota United. They're looking to go around, not through.
Oh, and the first goal for Minnesota
Miguel
United.
Leon, number 17 for Minnesota United. And a bobbling ball that the keeper would have liked back. Striker from Minnesota United mishit it, but happened to just go into the corner of the net.
I mean, there's not much that the defenders can actually do there.
Absolutely
besides
not.
get rooted on the goal line and try to, throw a body in the way. I mean, from a goalkeeping perspective, you would have liked to see Ahmed pick that one up, but that did not happen. And the goal looks like it was number 17, Miguel Leon, assisted by number 10, Leo Kona. And again, that came from a direct pass.
That's right. And I mean, if we're going to see something that could be developing throughout the game, Leo seems to have the speed to get around the edge there, put in a great ball. And Ayub, again, as a goalkeeper, you're going to want to get that one. If you're going to get a palm on it, get it out further. Don't just put it back right into the danger spot.
Right into the 6-yard box, yeah.
"20 minutes in, we'll see if this lights a little fire under the Crow's belly."
I mean, it has to, right?
You would hope so.
And now you're looking back at that potential advantage call, and the game's a little different then.
It absolutely does. Changes the conversation a bit. What's really interesting is... Oh my gosh. Carrying up the sideline, but you're seeing West Lawrence here on the left side staying home. So they're going to make sure they've got 3 in the back. We're not committing too much players going forward. We'll see if that changes throughout the game as Carl Craig sees if he wants to beat his former employer.
Great.
And an amazing save off the line from a defender as the goalkeeper comes out. Carlos Pena puts a header right on net.
I'm trying to get a number on who that was. Is that Vargas or Schaefer?
We'll find out soon.
Like Minneapolis City's going to get their first corner of the season.
That was Merrick Schaefer there, number 70, with a phenomenal diving header save off the line.
You were a goalkeeper, Adam. You come out and scorch earth, right?
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to go out, if you don't
out.
hit that, you got to punch that guy in the face. But that's our player, so we're not going to do that. And the first corner for the Crows coming up here. Aiden O'Driscoll seems to be the spot kick taker for the mighty Crows. Minnesota United defending with all 11 players. They had no player up, and somehow they still picked off the ball from Arce, and he wins it back.
It's great recovery by Arce, and a good delivery out of there.
Eli Goldman tries to dribble out of 3 players unsuccessfully. And a through ball into Minnesota United.
Ned getting off his line there nicely.
So I feel like at this point, John, that both teams have started to, they kind of, brush off the cobwebs. They're starting to play a little bit.
Yep. Everybody woke up.
Takes a goal to do it sometimes.
Tony Garcia given space here. Ruiz Plaza kind of was in a hospital ball situation there. Not really much he could have done with that one. Good step by Garcia. Nice ball through.
Eli Goldman running at the back line of Minnesota United, turns the ball over. Pena almost wins the ball back.
Shouts for a foul there. I thought Pena did a good job of trying to put his body in the way of contact there. I didn't see much in that from a foul perspective. Did you?
No.
Some early season kind of decision making there. Like you find TCO player to watch Eli Goldman with that type of space when he turns maybe a month from now. He's putting his head down and going towards goal.
100%. And that'll come with a little bit of confidence, getting your sea legs underneath you.
Mm-hmm. I mean, he probably just got off a plane from New Hampshire. There we go. A little frustrated with himself there. folks warming up on the Minneapolis City bench. Long ball. Coming.
I got to get our researchers on the numbers here. I don't have a number 33. The center back here from United, he seems to be a guy that they're looking to play through just a wee bit to see if they can get it over the top. We'll see if Minnesota United starts to slow things down and trying to actually play through instead of always trying to play around.
We don't have a 57 either.
Our researchers really got to get on it.
Good to see that MLS Next has the same problems that the NPSL and the UPSL and USL2 have.
Numbers are tough.
Yeah.
None of us got into soccer because we're mathematicians.
Beaupre eats that one up.
John, you know, as we watch Minnesota United and then progress the ball up the field, maybe you can talk a little bit about what you think about Minnesota United and MLS Next joining a competition like this and what sort of benefits could come from it.
I mean, I think it's fantastic. I mean, what it does is it pulls the insulation off of an MLS program. You know, a lot of people talk about MLS being, you know, bottled up at the top of the soccer pyramid. I'll keep going here in a second as Uro Kondu.
Absolutely.
Unlucky there with trying to find Goldman. Right idea. But you think about it from a perspective of franchise soccer at the top of the pyramid, and this team is part of that franchise. You know, the franchise model. It just happens to be in the academy version of it. Allowing them as an organization from MLS to come and play in a competition like this, I think is fantastic because it kind of lessens that insulation like I was talking about, and it gives the opportunity for these, you know, 17, 18, 19-year-olds to play against grown men. And what we found with the Minneapolis City Futures program is that the benefits that program really offers to another foul here by O'Driscoll, the benefits that offers to 17, 18, 19-year-olds to play against grown men is invaluable for when they take the next step. So if I'm looking at it from a Minnesota United perspective, this tournament itself gets them out of the MLS Next world where they're playing against people their own age, and they're seeing something different.
It's one of the problems that we're going to face in U.S. soccer is that we get stuck playing people our own age so much. And so this opportunity to step up, play people that are a little bit stronger, a little bit more mature, maybe have seen a little bit more soccer.
Styles.
That's right.
Yeah.
It just challenges everyone in a unique way. So I think it's good for everyone.
Absolutely. And then as far as, like, you know, how the tournament works itself out is Med with a heavy touch there. How this tournament plays out is that next year's competition will be a MLS Next spot. So who, from a Minnesota perspective, between Shattuck St. Mary's and Minnesota United finishes higher in their respective MLS Next season will get the berth.
Yeah, and even that, I mean, just some of those incentives, like, okay, what is there really to play for in MLS Next? Is it bragging rights? Maybe now they're all vying for a spot in Minnesota Super Cup, and maybe they make a few different decisions. Who knows?
Mm-hmm. Yep, absolutely. Did I answer your question?
You answered it wonderfully.
Look at us go. Just like we've been doing this for years.
Again, I'm no Nordo, I'm sorry, but I am keeping the seat warm.
But you are still standing on my Camel 2.
Oh,
with a great left-footed opportunity there by Camel 2. And Uru Kondo's fired up. Yeah,
I mean, it's not hard to see what Carl sees in Camel. We've heard in Camel, for those that know, he played a little bit with the Minneapolis City Futures. He's come through that program. He's of Karen, and Karen FA is here, and you see all the wonderful ball kids around the stadium wearing a red shirt. That is the Karen FA, who is a partner, a foundational partner of Minneapolis City Soccer Club.
Good tackle.
Oh, Oscar coming all the way out and making a hard tackle. Interesting to see from the ref here.
We have our first booking of the day, number 35, Oscar Herrera, getting a slice of cheddar.
If it wasn't in the corner, it wasn't such a heavy touch, that might be a different pocket that the referee is reaching to.
He was the last man back. the Mpls Ale Action Rewind here. I love the note we get from field side that says, yellow card, goalie. Thanks. He's the only guy wearing neon green.
You got to think that Aiden would have liked that service back.
Yeah. Opportunity. Heavy touch there by the guy. We have no idea who it is.
John, you've done a little bit of coaching in your time.
Yes, a little bit.
I mean, when you're talking about defending these set kicks, defending corners, you know, Minnesota United is defending with all 11 players. How do you feel about that? Would you like to see them get a few players forward and try to counter? Or it seems like there's some trends going in the game that way, so I'm curious to hear your thoughts.
I think it goes down to what the scoreboard looks like.
Absolutely.
You're a half hour in, Beaupre with the ball in. I think Uru Kondo got caught sleeping there. I think he was in, and he's giving the thumbs up to Beaupre. That was a good ball. To answer your question, it's 30 minutes into a game. You're 1-0 on the road. You defend with 11.
Sure.
If it's 0-0, regardless of the time frame, maybe other than it maybe being closer to the end of a game, you're trying to get a result on the road. I still think you defend with 11, but it's all situational. But I don't mind it. I do feel though like if you look at how things have been going with certain players on Minnesota United here who have been successful from a direct play perspective, you keep the guy who's the most successful up there. And in this case,
maybe number 10 is hanging up, Leo Kane.
Yeah, Leo Kane.
Former St. Croix soccer club player. That's independent research.
See, overcooking that one a little bit. Pena. Coach Craig off of his bench, barking out some instructions.
It's an excellent tackle by Eli Goldman.
Game face Eli starting to come out a little bit here.
I mean, coming off a phenomenal college campaign, just as a competitor, you can't really switch it off. He's going to make the tackles when it's there, regardless of what age they are.
Mm-hmm. Not a great giveaway there.
Miguel Leon with a nice switch across the field to Leo in space.
He's the danger man right now.
One-on-one with Alvaro. And Ayub comes up with a clean pickup. The question for Minneapolis City is, where is the space?
Please elaborate, Adam. The space is in front of us. We're looking at it.
Well, we're looking at all the space, John. We got a nice eagle-eye view.
Yeah.
But where are they finding space on the field? Where are they finding success putting the ball into? And it seems to be when they're finding these little pockets in the field on the flank, how are they able to exploit it moving forward?
Uru Kondo's wide open out there if Eli can get the ball off his foot. Pena just chest to chest throttles the guy we don't have a name for.
I believe we call that a steamroll.
Yeah. That could not have felt great. What an animation coming from the fans here.
The fans are starting to get riled up. If they're not getting riled up, Nate Morales, our PA announcer in the stadium, will get them riled up.
Yeah. Cool to see, look down here on the sideline at him and see someone sporting a Futures jersey.
Oh, you can't beat it. Again, for those just joining us, we've got Minnesota United FC in light blue. They are moving from left to right with your Minneapolis City Crows in white and black, going from right to left.
Driscoll throttling a youngster.
Add that to the things I never thought we'd hear tonight, throttling a youngster.
Calling it like it is, Adam. Garcia's definitely looking to try to press the action now. You can tell he's the ball's on his foot. He's wanting to go forward.
Comfortable on the ball. You know, what I think we can see from City is we're starting to see some overloads in parts of the field. What I don't think we're seeing is switching the ball quickly enough to actually take advantage of those overloads or underloads on the other side of the field.
And those are things that come over time.
100%.
All over the end line. "35 minutes into this match, folks. Minnesota United, MLS Next, U19. I'll add all the monikers there. 1, your Minneapolis City Soccer Club 0.
So, John, if we're looking at the first 35 minutes, I mean, how do you think each team is faring? We know what the score says, but is one team having more chances than the other? What are your opinion there?
Honestly, I don't think anyone's done anything spectacular. I think it was a goalkeeping error that was really the difference in this one. Otherwise, I think each team has had a decent chance, one each. And outside of that, it's really been the case of Minneapolis City trying to find their rhythm with the ball and not being able, the final pass letting them down. And with Minnesota United, it's been very clear. 2-3 touches, find the overload and hit the long ball.
Yep, absolutely.
So to answer your question, I don't think anyone's really done anything spectacular today that tells me that this game is teetering to one or the other.
I wouldn't disagree. We talked about controlling the midfield, and you're largely seeing Minneapolis City deploy 2 central midfielders. And they're doing a pretty good job in matching Minnesota United, but we'll see how that matchup is going to play over time numerically.
Handball. Ruiz Plaza. Vintage 2016 Ruiz Plaza tonight.
Ruiz Plaza with the good hair.
Sammy with the good hair. The Loons are definitely, they're up a goal. They're willing to sit back. It seems like this is the pocket of space, if we're talking about spaces, where the corners have come from, the actions come from. Ooh.
Pena takes a shot with his left. He didn't want it on his left, but that's where it arrived.
Speaking of good hair.
No kidding.
Like if I did that, not pulling it off. But he pulls it off.
And that I can testify to, folks. I mean, Eli Goldman just took on 3 players from the wing, beat them, couldn't put on a finished product, but it's all encouraging for the Crows moving forward there.
Well, 5 minutes ago, he was trying to play the ball backwards. Now we're seeing him making off the ball movement. He's starting to feel himself a little bit. And,
that's right.
And he is our player to watch tonight, and continue to do that, folks, because something is going to pop up with Eli Goldman. It's a matter of time.
When we see these forwards make these runs into the outer channels, though, we've got to continue to see the midfielders make runs into the middle of the field to occupy defenders or to get into channels. And so that's what we're going to continue to hope to see. Is there the mobility from midfield from the Crows to take advantage of space?
One thing we also have to mention, too, Adam, is that the team in blue here has been playing together for months, if not a full year.
Absolutely. As Cooper takes it down, number 9 in the box. Tyler traps it well, leaves it on a platter for Miguel, but he can't hit it well with his left.
Arce did a really great job there of cleaning up the damage. So, here is where you'd like to see the attack starting. It needs to be a little faster.
And you can see that from the attackers. They're all starting to read each other. They're starting to look left, look right, and say, okay, he's checking in. I have to go over. Those things, again, take a little bit of time. But the urgency of the game may pick that up just a little bit. These are the situations in the game where I think that Minneapolis City has to be aggressive You've got Cooper, number 9, is the only player that's up top. And again, he's not a burner from what we've seen up here.
It's all coming through number 10. Their whole entire attack is coming through number 10.
So let's take those opportunities and pin them in here. Win balls out of the air. Eli gets it down on his foot. He wants it. And Oscar does a good job at cleaning it up.
Like I said, it's only a matter of time. Eli finds those spaces. It's what he's made up of. He's not going to run past you. He has the bag of tools, the bag of tricks to be able to go by you. But where he makes his success is off of outthinking defenders and being in the right spaces.
John, do you carry around your tools in a bag?
Yes.
Okay, just checking.
A mesh bag.
Mesh bag for all his tools. You can tell John grew up playing soccer in Germany.
Gotta have your tools. Gotta sharpen them.
In your mesh bag.
Mesh bag. Well, then you gotta see what. You don't have to open the bag to see what's inside.
That's right. It's just German efficiency.
Yeah. I need a hammer. I want to see there's a hammer in there, or I'm trying to figure out how to use a wrench as a hammer. You know, then my day gets worse.
Wes Lawrence makes an attacking overlapping run.
Now is where Uru Kondo needs to get onside, and that ball has to get to him.
Yeah, I agree.
Lawrence. Good header in. Not a lot you can really do with that. It's kind of tough, you know, like it's a bouncing ball 7 feet in the air. Arce up against Danger Man Kona. Oh boy.
Oh, there's a header that we're going to want back. And a shot from Miguel goes just wide left. That's number 17, Miguel Leon. Service from number 10, Leo Kane. Magic seems to happen when Leo Kane starts the attack from the left side, don't you think?
Absolutely. I mean, we were talking a little bit ago. I mean, everything that's been of substance has come through him one way or the other.
Right.
So you keep going to that until the valve gets shut off.
You know, we're doing a little bit of research on Minnesota United FC, and a lot of these players have been in their system for a couple of years here. It's nice to see some of these players building. They're all from Minnesota.
Yeah, local areas, yeah.
With the exception of one of the players that seems to have come from Real Salt Lake here, and that is Perry Blay. That's number 27, their right back.
This seems to be where we find success.
So Eli beats him around the edge.
We've now gotten 2 opportunities on goal and 2 corner kicks out of quick switching of the play and Eli Gold making a diagonal run. That's our version of their long ball to Kona.
100%. What we have to see is when Eli is beating one player off the edge, take a look in the middle of the box. How many players do we have versus Minnesota United players making dangerous runs in dangerous positions? That's going to be the key. Carlos lines up.
Oh!
Wes Lawrence.
What a great save off the line.
Man, what a defender's finish. Wes Lawrence tries to kick it directly at the goalkeeper to get it in the goal.
No, that was number 70, Merrick Schaefer with
another goal line save.
Another goal line save. That's 2 goal line saves for Merrick Schaefer. And the 4th official on the field is indicating that there are going to be 2 minutes of stoppage time.
2 minutos from the referee.
Very good Spanish there on Cinco de Mayo. Happy Cinco de Mayo.
I do what I can.
To all of you that participate.
That's right. Got an opportunity coming up here.
So now here's where Minneapolis City, do you need 2 players back here?
I throw the kitchen sink. If they're not going to present anyone it's going to counterattack, why are we sitting 2?
Unless there's some sort of training ground exercise that's going to happen here. But early on in the season, I don't see that happening. Great ball in. Oh, good. Another clearance by Merrick Schaefer. That guy's everywhere.
And Merrick Schaefer says, let's go, boys. He is fired up. He's having a good time.
He's feeling himself.
I would.
Oh, Pena with another opportunity off the header.
Oh.
Could
Campbell put a snapshot, and some are asking, is that a handball? Well, this isn't the Premier League. We don't have VAR. Here we are, everyone. It is lower league soccer in America. Nice little touch. Eli's asking questions in the box. Aiden's asking more. And another corner for the Mighty Crows.
This is the pressure that you want to sustain now for the rest of the game.
That's right.
You're down a goal. Obviously, you need to amp things up. However, the play has been in this half. Danger man, Kona. Good work defensively by Arce there. "45 minutes into the 2 minutes of stoppage time. Minnesota United 1, Minneapolis City 0. Again, Adam, I feel like you asked me the question earlier, you know, who's doing what better. Now I think substance with the ball is now shifting to Minneapolis City.
It's definitely, the tides have shifted a little bit, and it'll be interesting to see. It's one of those things as a coach. Carl's sitting here saying, halftime doesn't need to come. Let's keep playing. Mm-hmm. It's just not the way the game goes. So we're going to see who can make some adjustments coming up here at half, and if we can continue the momentum.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think the momentum for me is find Eli Goldman the ball within 30 yards. That's where everything of substance has come from Minneapolis City.
Alvaro Arce has continued to do an excellent job in back. Wins it strongly, plays it out of pressure.
I have tons of thoughts here, Adam, but we have to keep something for the Radisson Red Report, halftime report.
I don't know about you folks listening at home, but the Radisson Red Report sounds awfully interesting to me.
Well, you're going to be part of it here in minutes, Adam.
I can't wait.
Good step in by O'Driscoll. And that does it, folks. The first half of the inaugural Minnesota Cup goes the way of Minnesota United 1, Minneapolis City 0. I am John Bisworm. Next to me is the Adam Pribble. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to pay some bills. We're going to give some sponsors some love. And we will be back to you with the famous, world famous Radisson Red halftime report. Thank you. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, friends of the feather. I am John Bisworm. This is the Adam Bribble. Augsburg University, Edor Nelson Field, Minnesota Super Cup action between Minnesota United and Minneapolis City. Scoreline for the first half, 1-0. I should have written down, I'm not Nordo, I should have written down when the goal came, but the goal came from number 17, Miguel Leon, for an assist from Leo Kona. As far as how the first half goes, we'll get into that in 1 second, but we'd like to thank our halftime sponsor, Radisson Red. Minneapolis City would like to send a special thanks to Radisson Red Minneapolis downtown for extending their hospitality to all traveling teams and fans. Radisson Red, official hotel partner of Minneapolis City Soccer Club. Adam, please do me the honor of kicking off the first of 2023, the Radisson Red halftime report.
Wow, big pressure, Minneapolis City, Radisson Red report, and I'll tell you what, it was a hotly contested first half. Each team was kind of vying for control. We had a lot of people trying to play over and around, and we'll see. Both teams are trying to go over the top, and Minnesota United happened to come with a goal, but I thought that Minneapolis City started to take control of the game there towards the last 15 minutes of the game. They're going to look to gain some momentum here in the second half. And it'll just be interesting to see what sort of altercations each coach makes to take control of the game.
Altercations might not be the right word, but I'll run with it. So what did you see from Minnesota United in that half?
Minnesota United, again, a lot of things were flowing through number 10, Leo Kane, coming off the left-hand side. They looked to appear a little bit more comfortable in their build-up moving forward. But again, they look like the team that's been playing for the last couple months together and training together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would agree. It looks like we may have a substitution that's coming on here, and the indicator is that there is a a substitution. Sorry, folks, for the lack of organization. It looks as if number 15, Gabe Nienka, is coming on for number 2. Don't have a number 2. So... Oh, Alvaro Arce. So,
looks like they've slotted Wes Lawrence into right back, and number 2, and then Gabe is going to come in number 15 at left back.
Interesting. Sort that out. So, anyways, moving along.
Interesting switch because we were both remarking that Alvaro had a excellent first half in our estimation.
Had to potentially be something from an injury perspective, but if you're looking at how to counter the opportunities that were coming through number 10, Kona, it's putting your Bulldog defender, Wes Lawrence, on that side.
Absolutely.
It also
trying to nullify number 10 and see what we can get moving on the left hand moving forward.
It also could indicate that maybe a back 3 is coming, and Gabe Nienka, who is by trade a attacking player, is the one who's on the ball right now, is going to be getting forward more. And first action for
gets involved in the play right away.
Gabe just throttles the youngster.
Yeah. That can't be a takeaway for the rest of the season.
That is for today, Adam. It's for today.
No arguments here, John.
Good win by Tyler Beaupre.
So you get in the minds of each coach as you approach halftime and into second half. Minnesota United, you're hoping that you see a little bit more of what you saw in the first half to control the ball, to really move the ball from, in each phase of the game moving forward. For Minneapolis City, it's let's look forward a little bit quicker and look to move through those different phases actually quicker than they did because they were a little bit slow out of the gates.
Yep, absolutely. And once again, we saw, Adam, that Minneapolis City decided to take the kick and give it back. So I'm not a big fan of that. Oh, Jonah Garcia.
Whew.
Uncharacteristic of Jonah Garcia there. I think he got a little crossed up on his feet. But Kona with an opportunity here. Great ball in, but Garcia getting a head on it. That was dangerous. Man, the shotgun blast of the half has come out from both sides. It's like Thomas Kinzer is the corner kick man for United. And one thing we have to mention too is that the Enka substitution as this corner's coming in.
Ooh, glancing header comes across the box. Minnesota United hero Merrick Schaefer puts the ball back in.
Ayub Ahmed calmly picks that one up, going long for Goldman here.
And that's a great
ball
job from Ayub, putting Eli in.
Referee says no.
I think that's a great job by the referee to tell Eli to get up and play.
I think so too.
He wanted all of it. He put his hands up.
One thing we were going to mention about Nienka is potentially that substitution from a traditional attacking player to being an outside back could indicate maybe a formation type switch or a tactical switch, or Coach Craig and staff doesn't have anyone else who can play left back.
I mean, both,
because the guys aren't in all yet.
Both are viable options at this point in the season, John.
Yep.
It's a good assertion by yourself, because as we're taking a look at both rosters, let's just remember these are not fully baked.
Yeah, absolutely. While the action is going on here, we have to definitely do something that the Minnesota Super Cup has asked us to do. So that is thank the Minnesota Super Cup sponsors. So we really appreciate Body Armor and Powerade, Mikasa Soccer Balls, which is what the gentlemen on the field are playing with today, Wolf Creek Watch Company, and here's my personal favorite, Turbo Tim's Anything Automotive, Blue Jay Insurance, and Pro Scarves. Thank you, Minnesota Super Cup sponsors.
An impressive roster of sponsors for a competition just starting in 2023, and thank you to all of the Minnesota Super Cup sponsors for making this wonderful competition for happening.
Good step in by Beaupre. There was a number disadvantage right there for Minneapolis City. If that cross goes through, maybe we're asking some additional questions here. How do you think Beaupre's done stepping? Well, I say that. Curse of the commentator. Gives one away in a bad spot.
Curse of the commentator.
But how do you think he's done so far coming on for Nick Hutton?
You know, to me, he looks like he's confident. He's spraying the ball around the field. I've liked what I've seen out of Tyler early. The referee was not prepared for that. He was turning to actually run back up the field.
I haven't been impressed with the distribution and the handling from Ahmed so far. If I'm calling it like it is.
You know, as a goalkeeper, you really got to read the game. And are you trying to do you have a lot of pressure and you need to stop that from happening? Are you trying to keep the ball moving? And those are the things that Ayub has to learn, is that it's not just about what's in front of you, it's what's happening in the game all around you, and start making decisions distribution-wise.
It seems like it's maybe a confidence issue, like growing into the game and understanding like the 18-yard box is yours.
That's right.
So take control of it. And I see a little hesitancy to come off the line to grab stuff, to parry stuff away, and you need to get that. 57 turned in is.
So we didn't get a 57 from Minnesota United, but we took an educated guess. We're going to say it's Dominic Vargas.
Dominic Vargas.
They reported it as 76, but
numbers are
again,
hard, man.
Investigative reporting. We're pretty sure that's Dominic.
Good win by Beaupre.
Good little battle there.
Not where you want to lose the ball.
Those are the tough spots. You lose the ball, and they tend to end up in an opportunity for the other team.
Good step in by Garcia. I feel like this one ends 1-0, Adam.
We got more goals than us today, John.
I think there's more goals from this game, for sure.
Especially as they start to, their legs go a little bit. We get into the, we're going to get into the 65th, 70th minute, and some of these guys' legs are going to go. We have subs on the bench, but
great step by Ruiz Plaza.
That's an ambitious ball to Eli Goldman that gets cleared by the goalkeeper.
For me, we talked about the OG. Samuel Ruiz Plaza, for me, has been the best soccer player on the field for Minneapolis City, back to front.
He's played well. He's covered a lot of ground, and we're seeing Aiden and Samuel. They're pretty much running to midfield there in the middle. So they've got a lot of ground to cover, a lot of Minnesota United players to deal with, and they're doing a pretty good job.
Looks like Dennis Mensah and Stevie Lamar up for Coach Craig and staff.
When you only have 2 players in the midfield, you're hoping to create opportunities in the wider channels, and certainly up top in different scenarios. So that's what we're looking to see, is how do they create numerical superiorities like this with Carlos on the outside.
I'd like to see a switch there earlier. Ruiz Plaza with a great touch in.
Camel, magic touch.
I think
right into Oscar.
Nienka made the right move there, coming from his left back spot. I think maybe laying that off to a player who's facing the goal, maybe a more fruitful opportunity, Adam.
Love fruit.
That was a case of, oh my God, there's a ball. There's a ball right here.
It hit my face. It landed at my feet. So what's going to be really interesting as we see the game progress here, when you get into 55 minute to 75 minutes, is when coaches start to look at opportunities to change the game with some substitutions. And you're going to start to see how coaching staffs, how they view the competition. Is this just a training game against a Minnesota United 19 Academy side? Or are they taking the Minnesota Super Cup seriously? Do they want to collect those 3 points to continue on? Those are the questions that we're all asking ourselves up here and in the stands. Eli Goldman asking questions of Merrick. Merrick Schaefer deals with it well.
And who's right there to clean it up? Ruiz Plaza.
I mean, for those at home, number 70, Merrick Schaefer, is having an excellent little game from center back. He seems to cover everything really well. He's not the biggest center back in the world as a traditional center back.
Well, he saved 2 goal opportunities.
Saved 2 goal opportunities. He seems to be everywhere in the right spot, and that's what you want from a center back.
2 off the line. Ayub Ahmed is his we'll call it less than ideal night continues, I think, with it's tough from a confidence perspective. Like you let one in and had a couple missteps, and it's just continuing to compound. Like the distribution wasn't ideal there. Like you just hope from a confidence perspective, he snaps out of that. Great tackle by.
It's the really hard thing as a goalkeeper is
Campbell too.
Campbell getting a little breakaway here, but it gets shut down by Merrick again. As a goalkeeper, it's really hard to pick up some of that momentum. You have to get a couple saves under your belt. Really, it's all mental awareness and just kind of mental strength, and got to be a goldfish and move on.
Easy, Tad. Goldman. Oh, great step off of his line by Oscar Herrera. Looks like Stevie Lamar has been trying to get in for the last 3 minutes, and maybe get him in that last stoppage, but great touch by Lejewski.
That's an excellent ball in from Miguel Leon, number 17, into number 10, Leo Kane, who could not put the finishing touch on it. Extremely dangerous ball in for Miguel. Miguel coming from Richfield High School.
It's coming off. Looks like Aiden Urukandu is coming off for number 7, Stevie Lamar. Tell me a little bit about Stevie Lamar, Adam.
Stevie Lamar coming out of St. Thomas University, formerly of Totino Grace High School.
By way of Creighton.
By way of Creighton and Minneapolis United as a club. This kid, he can do it a little bit of everything. He can score, he can assist. He's an excellent guy in the play up and build up. He's got a really good feel for space. Again, not a ton of burners on him, But we'll see. Maybe he's put some work in the offseason. He can prove me wrong.
Well, and I think he's been injury prone. Injured at Creighton, injured at St. Thomas. Oh, unlucky on that pass there. Right idea. Injured at Creighton, injured at St. Thomas, injured with City last summer. So injuries seem the cloud seems to be following him. So what you hope for Stevie is that you can outrun that cloud and we can actually see what he can do for us.
And obviously he's done enough for the city coaching staff, not only last year, but now Carl Craig and his staff this year, where they see something in him and are keeping him around. So let's hope we can see a little spark from Stevie tonight.
Referee telling Dominic Vargas, potentially Dominic Vargas, we don't know, enough is enough. I think it was a little chippiness against Ruiz Plaza earlier, and then into bad giveaway by Nienka. Little chippiness, saw him kind of take a swipe at Ruiz Plaza in the center of the field, and then it kind of compounded again there at the end. So referee on top of it.
I don't know about you, John, but if I was playing against Samuel tonight, I'd probably take a few swipes at him too. He's frustrating, right?
He's been the best player on the field
He's all over the place.
for the Feather. I say friend of the Feather. Does anyone understand where that comes from? You want to know where that comes from? That's from
Friend of a Fluther.
Friends of the Feather.
Flock together?
No, Friends of the Feather comes from Major League.
Oh, wow.
When Bob Euchre is doing the radio
That's
show.
fantastic. Yeah. That's fantastic.
Good evening, Friends of the Feather.
And it's applicable to both,
And we're wearing a feather.
We got loons. We got crows. They're all feathers.
West Lawrence takes out 2 players there. This is what Stevie Lamar can do for you. Hit that.
Is he going to bang it? Oh. We'll take a little bounce.
Yeah, corner.
And a corner for the Mighty Crows.
It's like Dennis Mensa.
This is where I've got questions for the Crows. You've got set pieces against a 19 Academy. You expect that you've got ball winners that can go up and beat these guys.
We tend to go early with them. The early one here. Oh, and the kick away afterwards, ref. How many? What I was saying before is that bumping in here in the booth. Dennis Mensa and Joey Tawa are the Crows that are looking to get some kits on here. Joey Tawa the first.
And so for everyone at home, we've got amateur soccer substitution patterns here where you can have up to 7 players on the bench. So you've got 18 players on your roster. You can sub all 7 if you'd like, but it has to be at 3 moments in the game, not including halftime, right? So this is the second subbing moment for Minneapolis City. That means they've got 1 more in the competition.
So is Mensa also getting prepared? As if. So that probably to me, Mensa maybe for Pina. Don't know where Tawa goes because it's somewhere in the midfield or it's at center back, but you're not going to sub off Tyler Beaupre from a center back perspective. So it might be a Ruiz Plaza.
I would expect Samuel. He's looked like he's gasping for air a little bit here in the second half.
Great ball.
Doesn't mean that he's not been effective.
Another corner kick here for the Crows.
This is the challenge for all you viewers at home is it's so fun to watch the ball and watch what's happening, but you have to look off the ball and you start to see a guy like Samuel Ruiz Plaza puts his head down and his body language is a little bit, it's not the same as the first half, so you can tell he's a little tired, but then again,
great shift though.
He thought he was coming off. Aiden O'Driscoll comes off instead.
So substitutions, if we're calling it here, Dennis Mensa, number 25, comes in for number 11, Camel 2, and number 23, Joey Tawa, comes in for number 12, Aiden O'Driscoll.
We also have a sub for Minnesota United.
Their numbers are so hard to
Number
see.
17, Miguel Leon, is coming off.
Is that number 76?
Number
we have a
76?
We didn't have a 76.
I don't have a corresponding 76.
See, we have a 67, though.
We may have a 76 in Dominic Vargas.
We have a 67 right there.
We do. Dominic Vargas was number 76, so we're going to say that he just came into the game. inaccurately may have said that he was number 57. Still don't have a 57 in the game.
Great move by Lamar. Or is that Lamar, or is that, yeah, that was Lamar.
We are about as limited in the booth as the numbers that they tell us on the field.
Yeah, that's the hard part about the job we do up here, Adam,
It is
that we are at the disposal of organization or misorganization of soccer clubs that come here. We know our guys.
That's right.
We don't know their guys. So if I'm putting a plea out there across the pre-professional world of teams that travel, please have your act together.
But it's tough.
Because we'd love to talk about your players.
We also know it's tough, right? Because guys are in and out, guys get injured, guys are moving around. Maybe some clubs don't assign numbers that way. So there are certain restrictions in amateur soccer that can make that difficult. But at the same time, that does not stop the good fight. You and John and I and our team of researchers are here around the clock working to get you accurate numbers, accurate players when we can.
So for loved ones at home who are like, this isn't how my last name is pronounced, this isn't the number of my loved one, we have no clue. So please bear with us.
We are trying, and we want to get it right.
While we're working on a timeout here, time to pay some sponsors. Southside Barbers Lounge. Guys, look, your best, hold on, bad punctuation from our copywriter. Guys, look your best with the only barber you should trust in Minneapolis. Southside Barber Lounge, located on 38th and Bloomington, is the spot for elevated men's grooming without the nonsense. Make an appointment at southsidebarberlounge.com. And we'll just keep them rolling here. Pedal Pub. City gives thanks to Pedal Pub. There was a raffle at halftime for the Pedal Pub. A new 2023 sponsor, Pedal Pub. Get your crew together, work those legs, chug some brews, and give the middle finger to the bars that stay in one place. Ride the party, ride the Pedal Pub. This is maybe the best one.
Yeah, we can't top that, but I'm going to try with our new partners in 2023, Metro Transit. Thank you to our new sponsor. With buses and trains that run to every corner of the metro, it's the easiest way to make it to the next city match. Free ride passes are available for home games. Learn more at MinneapolisCitySC.com.
So we got a substitution coming in here. We'll wait for word on the field, but we're back in action here. And it was number 73 in, number 76 out. We do have a 73. Nice.
73 looks like Jacob Tao. Who gets on the ball here. Great control and plays a through ball that's unsuccessful.
What was it? 76. We didn't have a, we had a 76.
76 just came into the
50,
game,
57
right?
57 still out there, so maybe that wasn't him.
Yeah, we're learning as we go.
Where is he playing on the field? Maybe that'll help us. Right back? All right, well. Is 27 on the field, Adam? See, we're talking about people. We'll figure it out later.
Well, and that's the thing. Being former players, John, we know that every player has a journey and every player is given their due. So we want to say names, numbers correct.
Great ball.
Or we're just going off of, oh, yeah. This game's starting to pick up in intensity a little bit, wouldn't you say?
It is. So is my anxiety rate that I don't know who's playing on the field in blue. Like, please give us the numbers. Right numbers. Give us the right names. I'd love to give... So Jacob Tao is playing... Where did he go? He's playing right wing. So I think it's Vargas. I was going to say. Well, Vargas is there.
Number 57, we still don't have a name and number for. That's where we're
calling him Vargas. We're calling him Vargas.
That's right.
All right, well, whatever. We'll just keep 12 guys on our...
I believe that Jacob came in for Miguel. I don't see Miguel out there anymore.
Great individual play for new man to the game here, Dennis Mensa. Dennis Mensa, talk a little bit about him, Adam. You know him well, or should I step in on that one?
You know, I haven't seen Dennis Mensa step foot on the field, but I've seen him in training a little bit, and he's a difference maker when he gets his foot on the ball in the attacking third.
And where does he go to school?
St. Thomas University, another D1 player out of St. Thomas, a new Division I program.
Is Tawa on the ball?
Joey Tawa on the ball here. Nope. Joey's stepping back, so
Stevie.
that appears to be Stevie. Stevie Lamar, number 7,
Bang
a
one
Graves
in here,
prospect.
Stevie.
Likes to look at it over the bar.
Hit somebody? How quickly can I read our last read? Let's try it. Blaze Pizza feeds the players after home games, and they're fired up to feed your family any day of the week. Visit their locations in Minneapolis and St. Louis Park for fast-fired pizza served right out of the oven. Learn more at blazepizza.com. There we go. We did our jobs. All the reads.
You had Blaze Pizza?
I have it every time we have
Fantastic.
it here. Yeah, it's great.
It's fantastic. It's like the Chipotle of pizza. Go there, order what you want. It's great. But I gotta say, all of our sponsors are awesome. Bought a home with Pence Homes. Got my hair cut with Southside.
Drank Mpls this morning.
I drank Mpls earlier today. It was wonderful. I sat in their little back patio. It was wonderful.
Had a little staycation with the missus at Radisson Red. What else?
It was just fantastic. I have not had any work done by TCO, knock on wood.
I have, and it's been great.
Has it really?
Yeah, it's been great.
That's great. I've only done Pedal Pub once, but I'm an old man now. I don't do Pedal Pub anymore.
I was part of a Pedal Pub, the infamous Pedal Pub crash of 2007. We'll talk about that on the People Spit podcast. But yes, I was on a Pedal Pub that crashed into a car.
I can't wait to hear more.
Brakes failed.
Wow. Oh, boy. You must have heard John say, own your 18. He came out for a ballsy little save, leaving the goal wide open.
But he got a piece of it.
He did.
But what you want to see is him getting a piece of it out wide.
That's right. Putting stuff back into the middle of the field, little dangerous. Can Dennis keep the ball moving? Well done.
Playing to Lamar, his college teammate. I see something in Dennis here. I see some danger in him, but he hasn't had the opportunity outside that little shifty play he had where he was brought down. But I see why the coaching staff brought him in. Maybe that's a developing storyline.
With Joey Tawe in the game, he seems to be stepping back a little bit more, allowing Gabe to move up a little bit higher into the field, attacking in what appears to be a 3-4-3.
We talked about that. Maybe with that substitution, it shifted into a 3-back, and we are kind of seeing that from an offensive perspective.
Which is good to see. The Crows need to get a little bit more expansive, a little bit higher up the field.
Well, as we're 70 minutes in here, 1-0 Minnesota United U19 MLS Next versus your Minneapolis City Crows. What we're seeing here is a lot of franticness, Adam, if I'm being honest. An opportunity for Lejewski. He wants back. But I'm seeing a lot of franticness. Like the subs came in, and everyone hasn't quite got on the same page yet. Yeah.
And that, you don't love to see that as a coach. Wow, and a great save from Oscar Herrera coming out and stopping Eli Goldman.
Goldman's hurt.
Dennis Mensa had an opportunity on a rebound and couldn't bury it.
Oh, you don't want to see that.
Eli Goldman appears to be hurt, holding his right leg. And the referee is calling the trainer, Alex Almquist, from TCO onto the field. Again, there's no one better than TCO. And look at that. Eli Goldman's getting up just from Alec walking out onto the field.
Magic spray.
That's just how good TCO is, everyone.
You enter the field, you get better.
Alec comes off, He says, "How you doing?" And you pop right back up. That's just how it works.
Well, essentially, what I think I was looking at the Mpls AL action replay, and it looks like the goalkeeper for Minnesota United, Oscar Herrera, just got a foot, maybe kind of kicked him in the knee. Didn't look like he landed weird or anything like that, or anything that should be, fingers crossed, super dangerous, because Eli Goldman, our TCO player to watch, is not one of those folks that you want to see going down in your first game of the season.
No, he's a player they're going to rely on all season long for creativity and goals.
Yeah, he is limping pretty heavily there. I think he just got kicked.
You know, at the 73rd minute of the game, you start to look at what's the difference in the game. It's the difference between goalkeepers. Oscar looks confident. He's coming off his line. He's up on the 35-yard line.
Distribution's been great.
And Yub looks a little bit shaky, and that's okay. That's the game of soccer, and it's early in the season, but here we are.
Yep, it's like Eli Goldman coming back on. A sigh of relief from Friends of the Feather.
Collective sigh of relief. We see a few umbrellas up in the crowd.
Yeah, I've kind of seen. I don't know. We're inside.
We might have a little bit of drizzle out there.
Some precip. '73rd minute. What do you expect to happen here for the Crows? I mean, we've talked about the substitutions that came on, seemed to be the right ones. I talked about the frantic nature of what happened after they came on. What's next?
You know, it's how are the players up front, your front six, start to move off each other and start to create some chances up front. Right now, the game it's too much in the middle of the field. It's too unpredictable. Can someone put the ball down on the field and start to play and create chances?
It was almost a booth ball there.
We were hoping.
That thing came pretty close
John
to
was
us.
holding his arms open. He was ready for it.
Yeah, I'm ready to catch it through the pane of glass in front of us.
Ball over top for Carlos Pena. Can he track it down? Let it go for a corner. Let it go. Carlos let it go, and they're looking around saying, "Who's taking this corner?"
I just met you.
What's your name?
Yeah,
Would you like to take a corner?
Yeah. How do you feel about corner kicks?
I like scoring.
Yeah, I like to kick a ball. Put your laces through this one, Stevie. Ball.
Nice little ball in. United is clearing their lines pretty quickly. Sam was put under pressure by a couple Minnesota United players.
There's one guy you want on the ball under pressure today. It's Ruiz Plaza.
You were going to say Ayub Ahmed. And that would be in jest. But actually, he played that one pretty well.
And we're off here.
We're still
Let's
playing.
go.
Oh, Stevie wants that one back.
Yeah, for sure.
Reaches down. It must have been the shoes.
Tie those shoes up tighter, Stevie. Congratulations to Stevie. Stevie was the mentor coach in the Futures Winter program that led Powderhorn AFC to their third Winter Futures Championship.
3 championships in a row.
I
Former
know.
neighborhood, Powderhorn AFC.
I've tried to beat them with Riverside, but
Those brown uniforms are here to stay.
we can't beat them every year. Doesn't matter who's on the team, can't beat them.
Could be the coaches drafting.
I don't want to.
That's an official no comment from mentor coach John Bisworm.
I did have Loic Nsanvi last year, and we
That's
still
excellent
lost
drafting.
him. We
That's
still
excellent
lost him.
drafting.
Yeah.
Former Crow Loic Nsanvi of the Minneapolis City Futures, moving on last year in kind of a Cinderella story.
He played for every team we had
Playing
last
for
year.
every single team and a team we didn't even have in the U.S. Open Cup.
Yeah.
And going on and getting his first pro contract for Minnesota United too.
To see the ball get to Dennis Mensa in a position that's not midfield.
We're facing backwards.
That's a foul.
It's a foul, and Jonah's been put in a number of compromising positions tonight where he's just been forced to lump it forward.
Yeah.
And that's what, when you pair someone with a young center back, sometimes you get put in those positions.
Come on, Stevie, win that ball. There we go. That's bad.
John disagrees. Stevie disagrees.
He had the ball at his foot and he turned on the guy. The youngster bounced off of him. He didn't throttle him. He bounced off of him.
That's right.
I'd like to see that one back. But hey, I think the team in red here has done a very good job of
an excellent job.
The game is not out of hand. We saw they kind of grew into the game from an officiating perspective to understand the need to let some things go after, from an advantage standpoint. I think it took a little bit long for that to happen, but we talked about, preseason, get it. I think things have kind of materialized for the referee staff here. So I do have a past where I'm negative towards the referees. I will continue to be negative, but I will be positive on the day today.
Sounds like you're tough but fair.
Yeah, I believe so. I feel like I say it like it is.
Yeah, I think they've done an excellent job tonight, and that's what we've seen. The Minnesota Super Cup seems to have put on an excellent competition here so far. Everything's been professional. The referees have been great. Obviously, we've got a packed house here at Augsburg.
You couldn't really have asked for anything better other than, if you're a friend of the feather, a better scoreline.
That's right. And which feather?
We're the only one wearing a feather.
We wear a feather.
We wear a feather.
The Crows wear a feather.
See, you're putting it all together here.
I really am. And I got to say, the kits that Minneapolis City were in, the feather
sharp,
kits,
man.
They look a lot better on the field.
Collar.
Yeah, the collar's great. It's a good look.
It is. It really is. 20 minutes almost on the clock to change this around for Minneapolis City.
And by 20 minutes, he probably means
28.
10. Because we're counting up from 79.
Oh, yeah. Oh, only mistake.
Numbers get hard late in the game.
Yeah, I don't know.
But if the ref decides to award 10 minutes in extra time, there we are. An excellent save off the...
Great block by Kenna. Or Nienka, sorry.
That's right. Gabe was excellent save. Whole goal, looking at him. Now let's see if the Crows can use that save as a little bit of momentum here. 10 minutes left. We'll see. We've got a little bit of extra time added on. We're probably looking at 13, 14 minutes left in the game. What can the Crows do moving forward?
Score a goal. That.
We've got hope. If you're looking from a competition standpoint, if the Crows can come out and get a goal, they're looking at a draw. They've got big matches coming up in Minnesota Super Cup versus Duluth.
Yeah, but that one's at the end of the season, so...
They've got Duluth coming up, so every game matters that way. You just can't really give up a lot of points in this competition and move on.
You can't. Like, for the Crows, you got to equalize this. Oh, undresses him.
Stevie puts on a couple moves.
Handball.
There's extra couple moves in there, but they got to put something on frame.
That was a handball on the guy we don't know what his number is. Is it Vargas? Is it not Vargas?
Nameless man with the handball.
I'm at the point of the game, the season, Adam, being early. I can't stand still in the booth. I'm just like, I want to help somehow, and I can't.
We all understand, John. And for those that aren't here, John is actually all over the place. He's bouncing off the walls. He's pounding on the glass.
No, I haven't done that.
It's coming.
Maybe. Get a goal here, and I'll break some glass.
We got United trainers out.
Someone's down.
I believe that's number 8, Cage Romishin. But I could be mistaken. I'm pretty sure that's number 8.
So storylines tonight, Nick Hutton goes down early. Tyler Broberry steps in. Don't think Tyler did anything anything negative to note. Some really good positives. We saw Ruiz Plaza, the only 2016 OG left, play a fantastic game today. We saw some goalkeeping stuff that can get cleaned up. What else did we see tonight?
Yeah, I think we saw the personalities of each coach coming out and how they are approaching the game. And obviously we're seeing a few things defensively and attacking-wise from City that's going to show their hand a little bit at how they're going to set up for the season.
Yeah, I would say so too, but there's a lot of we know the roster, right? This isn't the final roster out here today. This is the roster that was available early on in the year when you rely heavily on college players. There's some goal-scoring power coming tomorrow, unfortunately.
And that's what happens in May. You take what you have, and that is amateur soccer as we know it, lower league soccer as we know it in the U.S.
We were talking earlier before the match, Adam. This is probably the earliest game we've ever had.
One of them, and leagues are
Wes
even
Lawrence
pushing
is in.
for earlier.
Oh, Wes, put that on target, bro. Yeah, it's been one of the earlier ones.
But again, really encouraging to see a packed house about, we're going to call it 1,500 about in Augsburg. The fire marshal is here making sure that we just can't pack anyone more in these stands.
We're going to call this a MLS sellout.
Holy moly, what a cross. Another great clearance by Minnesota United. For 19-year-olds, they are getting up in the air and they're
you can't
clearing
throw the
balls.
ball down like that, Mr. Lajewski, without getting booked.
Well, apparently he can.
As he crosses home plate.
That's right. Augsburg University, they have 27 different varsity sports, including softball on this turf field. A creative ball near post. As he buries his head in his hands, I just don't think that Joey wanted to play the ball that way.
I think he was trying to catch Herrera napping, which he almost did if he would have put maybe a little more pace on that.
Ball in behind, and we have a little bit of a miscommunication.
Oh.
Ayub plays the ball really, really well coming out. One could debate whether that hit his hand or not. It looks like he had a nice little slide tackle. After miscommunication from the defenders on who's going to pick that one up. 86th minute. That's not exactly when you want your goalkeeper to start getting confidence, but that'll do it.
Speaking of this matchup we just saw here between Lawrence and Kona, excuse me. Has Kona been dangerous this half?
No, absolutely not. So, I mean, is that the expertise of Carl Craig coming in there? What do you think, John?
I think it was there's a Minnesota United player down. The ball needs to go out of bounds. He's looks severely injured. I think that it definitely is a situation where the coaching staff understood that there was an area of an opportunity to stop a advantage from the other team.
Stop the hemorrhage, right?
Stop, the bleeding, if you will. But we look at the limited roster. Would that be bleeding in the first place? Continued bleeding in the first place if we have a full strength? Maybe not.
These are the questions we ask ourselves.
And that is not indicative of the shift that Alvaro Arce put in. He was under distress all first half. Like when you're a defender and every time you look up, a long ball is coming towards you and you know it's a foot race, that's a long day at the office.
It's a challenge. It's a challenge for sure.
And I think that knowing that Alvaro his tank may be coming empty, or at least waning, very good coach's decision to move over the guy who clearly has the tank that will never get empty over there.
Yeah, number 29, Thomas Nisser, was hurt there. He seems to be okay. He's on the sideline with the athletic trainer. They seem to be ready to whistle him back on, which is what we like to see. No permanent damage done.
Yeah, he looks like he fell pretty terribly there.
Thomas seems to be wearing the captain's armband for Minnesota United.
Yeah. Who knew?
Now we know.
Now we know.
88th minute. Welcome to the game, John.
We figured it out. This is the time of the game, Adam, you being new to the booth, where we try to figure out how much stoppage time we think is going to happen.
Well, if I had to take a wild guess with that little stoppage of play there,
6 minutes.
I'm going to guess for 4.
Okay. Clearly going on the over.
So, John, tell me, what do the Crows need to do to equalize here in the waning moments?
Get the ball. And get the ball, and it's substance with the ball. There's been just a lot of, I understand the focus probably of how we want our attack to go. But I think that in times, some of the players tend to default to that, then keeping the ball quickly and trying to find combinations to then get forward. Because right now, I don't feel like Minnesota United is doing a whole lot to pressure you defensively. So what Minneapolis City needs to do is find the pockets of space to keep the ball and get numbers forward together.
And we asked that question of where the space was in the first half.
Well, you did.
And and what we were finding is that they were finding space on the flanks moving forward.
Yep.
We haven't seen those balls getting played in the second half.
Yeah, has Eli Goldman been dangerous this half? He's not.
Just haven't released him. So, and I think that's what we've seen a little bit in the second half is they're trying to play through Minnesota United a little bit, perhaps unsuccessfully. And so can we open up the game? Can we get behind the defenders and start to ask some questions of their back line that stayed intact?
Boom. Fourth official has indicated 6 minutes of stoppage time.
6 minutes. John Bisworm, while I live and breathe.
You owe me an Mpls. Great ball. So now, this is what I'm talking about, of areas of substance. Like, Minneapolis City won the ball there, and how many players got forward? 2. Like, there has to be numbers forward if you're going to try to equalize here.
I also got to say, if I'm the Minnesota United coaching staff, I just took note of that tackle by number 8, Cage Romishin.
Oh, he
really broke up the play well from City. They were about to counterattack, and he said, no. I'm going to take you down here when you're not endangering the goal. It's a veteran move from a young player.
Defensively, I think that the back four for Minnesota United has been fantastic. I think that they...
Early man of the match, I'm going to give it to number 70, Merrick Schaefer.
For them, yes, absolutely.
Cleared a couple off the line. He's done well. He's competed.
Yeah, but I think that if you're looking at like a respective unit on the field, I think that Minneapolis City, their central midfield, I think they did control it. But when we're talking about Minnesota United, their defensive unit and their goalkeeper were better, and that is indicative of the scoreline here.
It's definitely been the tide turner in the game. And again, you hate to see that be the difference maker in a game like today. And Carl Craig and the staff is incensed.
Okay. Yeah, because the Minnesota United player tried to play it short, right, and he played it right to Eli Goldman, and then now they're calling it back.
If you're gonna be able to play quickly, then it's kind of the die by the sword, live by the sword type of thing. If you turn it over, then the other team deserves to be able to go quickly as well. Oscar Herrera stepping up to the 40-yard line. Take a free kick. We just haven't seen enough of Dennis Mensah combining with Eli Goldman up front. Perhaps seeing...
Well, they haven't had service. It's been a lot of possession for Minneapolis City in the back line, and then like defensive clearing long balls, and not anything to a pocket of space where someone's making a run to.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's been hectic since the substitutions came on. I thought the first half and the beginning of the second half, I thought there was a lot of good fluidity there with the team that was on there, but then guys got tired, and we get it. They have to be subbed out.
Again, it's the philosophy from the coaching staff. Do you say we're going to take the bridles off, let's go and run and try to win the game, or we're going to try to get a tie here? What I mean, this is what we're trying to look for out of a competition like Minnesota Super Cup. Is it a true preparation game for their league play, or do they really want to go on and move on to the semifinals and finals?
Well, there is no semifinal, Adam. Surprised you didn't know that. There's only a final.
There certainly is.
Is there?
There's semifinals. So there's semifinals before the final match.
So the winner of Group A does not play winner of Group B for the championship?
The winner of Group A will play the second place of Group B, and so on and so forth.
So I'm the jerk then. Thank you.
I wouldn't call you a jerk, John.
No, I'm the jerk.
We just all have to learn the competition.
Here's the numbers we're talking about. Our producer, Tyler, just called me a jerk.
I have no comment.
So we finally got numbers forward, and then the substance wasn't there.
And that's it, right? Legs not there, early playing together. How many training sessions do you think these guys have had together from the Crows' perspective?
Everyone on this field? One.
Earlier today.
No, maybe like 2 days ago.
Yeah, sure. Dennis Mensah comes from an offside position to pick up that ball. We've got approximately 3 minutes left. I haven't been taking time, but this is just my sense.
Mighty sense. I feel like today, this might be a wild claim here, Adam, but
We're here for the wild claims.
Minnesota United did not win this game. Minneapolis City lost this game.
They gave it up. And again, it's tough to, in a whole soccer game, you see those moments. Let's give Leo Kane his due. He caused a ton of problems in the first half. He created a lot of chances.
And Merrick Schaefer.
Merrick Schaefer had a great game.
Those three players were the difference for Minnesota United
Absolutely.
today. But I don't think that those three players beat Minneapolis City.
Yeah, and this is why we play the game. This is why we all love it, and why 1,500 people are here in Edor Nelson Field at Oxford University.
A cool 2K. Let's just call it that.
Ooh, I love the rounding up. Stevie Lamar puts on a few moves. Jonas says, let's get it up the field. Eli Goldman, go to work.
That is a great ball.
Cut in.
Eli got a little
Was that just as much of a frustration hit from Eli than trying to put it on net?
Yep, he's cramping.
You can see the sparkles of magic from Eli. They're there. They're under the surface. They're ready.
Yep. Yeah. We just don't want him to burn out today.
That's right.
Because
a lot of soccer this summer.
And I say this with no disrespect to the players that are playing this game for Minneapolis City.
Dennis Mensah plays a great ball into Stevie Lamar.
And look who's
hopeful,
just putting in the work to try to win it back. Ruiz Plaza. Ooh,
I mean, it's kind of remarkable to see a player like Sam Ruiz Plaza.
Let me get back to my previous comment here before we almost had an attacking situation there. No disrespect to the guys that are here, but there are players that are literally boots on the ground tomorrow that I feel combine maybe a little better together in the positions of strengths that we've seen here today. So we talked about trialists. We talked about futures players. Like, those are the guys that round out your squad, but the people that you really want to go to battle with to start out might be showing up tomorrow for Minneapolis City.
Sure. And I wonder, if, and again, we don't know who are trialists, who are already on the roster, et cetera. We don't get that sort of privilege here up in the booth. But I wonder, there's some players that have definitely put a good foot forward.
They've made a case for themselves,
and
for
we
sure.
really hope that we can see them in a Crows uniform in the future.
Yep, absolutely. Or a different, well, I guess it's not a different Crows uniform, playing in a different league.
The Minneapolis City Futures, maybe.
Yeah, yep, exactly. And again, like I'm saying, it's not a and there is
that is the match.
There is full time, folks. The inaugural game of the Minnesota Super Cup goes to Minnesota United. God, I can't get it right for one more time, John. Minnesota United U19 MLS Next 1-0 versus Minneapolis City. I am John Bisworm. This is Adam Pribble. We are going to take a quick break. We're going to pay some bills, thank some sponsors, and we're going to come back with our post-game thoughts. So thank you so much for joining us tonight. For the folks that dip out, we really appreciate it. Adam, when do we have our next game, real quick, before we get out of here?
Saturday, May 13th.
You better get on down to those tickets, because if today was any indicator, this place is going to be full for USL soccer action. So once again, Minneapolis City 0, Minnesota United, MLS Next 1. We'll be right back, folks. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, friends of the Feather. I'm John Bisworm. Once again, next to me here is the Adam Pribble, former Minneapolis City head coach, conference-winning head coach.
Thank you.
And former GM of Minneapolis City, stepping in for the Eric Nordquist. Minnesota Super Cup action. 1-0 Minnesota United versus Minneapolis City. We talked about a lot of things in the at halftime, a lot of things that could potentially be what changes this game. And I personally, Adam, have to feel like nothing really changed much. Substitutions came on. They did their thing. But I think that the cohesion for both teams before substitutions came on was better than after the substitutions came on. But before we do that, we have to thank a sponsor, and that's Southside Barber Lounge. And they are the sponsor of the Southside Barber Lounge Stylish Standout of the Match. Who is Minneapolis City Stylish Standout of the Match?
You know, it goes without question. We're going to give it to number 6, Samuel Ruiz Plaza. He had an excellent game. He played the entire 90 minutes as an original 2016 player.
Against 19-year-olds?
And against 19-year-olds. and he did really well throughout the game. So, yeah. John, what do you think about that performance from our number 6 tonight?
I think that his energy in the middle of the field was knowing a player like Samuel, who is very offensive-minded. Tonight, his energy was expelled in putting out fires. And I think that was indicative of the final outcome today, because you want a player like Samuel Ruiz Plaza connecting with your front 3. And instead, he was connecting with the back 4, putting out fires.
Yep.
But he was doing it very well, and when he did get forward, I thought his distribution from a passing perspective went well. But again, I think that if we talk about overall thoughts on the game, we talked about it right before the referees blew their whistle, that this wasn't a one team beat the other one. We feel it was one team lost the game for themselves.
Yeah, and one could argue, did the Crows have enough scoring chances? Did they put enough creativity into the final third? But ultimately, the goal that they gave up it
was the early backbreaker.
It lacked a certain quality that it was just tough to recover from.
Well, once again, folks, this is the inaugural game of the Minnesota Super Cup, and I feel like the fans were here for it.
The fans are the true winners, right?
Absolutely. I mean, I feel like they saw a quality soccer game. There was excitement out there. I feel like the venue supported it well. Thank you so much to Augsburg University and Edor Nelson Field staff for allowing us to come back here again. But I think that this is an awesome opportunity for us to grow from this, from not only Minneapolis City perspective. I think the MLS Next friends will grow from it as well, understanding how they stack up against players of ages differently than what they face day in and day out in MLS Next, which we talked about. But at the end of the day, the Crows dropped vital points, and they only